everybody. This is me, Mickey Nobody, joined by Doll on that side of the screen. That side, oh my god, my camera's at a weird angle. It looks like I've got a gammy hand. But enough about my gammy hand. We are joined by a couple of the organisers for Sanctum Festival. Please introduce yourselves for us.
Hello, I'm Emma, and I am the Operations Director for the Sanctum Festival.
Yo, what's good? My name is Joe. I'm the Creative Director for the Sanctum Festival.
And thank you very much for joining us for this episode of Promoters Pit, where we are putting the promoters in the spotlight because, quite frankly, we feel like the promoters don't get enough of a spotlight these days. And it's a lot of hard work building a festival. I believe this is the second or third year that you guys are doing this as well now?
Second big year, third.
We did like pilot in 2024. Last year was the first big year, and now we're here.
Fantastic. So again, you've been doing this for a couple of years now. Who have your headliners been over the last 2-3 years now, and what brings you to the headliners you've got this year?
You want to start with 24?
I'll start with 24. 2024 was headlined by my old band Assurance. We played our final ever show about 3 weeks ago, so it's still very fresh and new. But that's where the Sanctum gets its name from as well. Assurance's debut song was called Sanctum, so it felt very fitting to have them take the lead on the debut event.
Yeah, so that was a 1-day event in 2024. In 2025, we moved it up to a 2-day event. We planned it quite late, actually, to be honest, and we booked our headliners quite late, but we ended up with the incredible The 500 and Exist Immortal. Yeah. So I think we were onto a winner there.
Yeah, definitely. And then 2026 again, we're stepping up, going to 3 days this time, or I guess 2.5 because the Friday is an evening.
A little bit.
Kicking off with Shields, who I've been listening to since I was in high school, and I'm so excited to actually catch them. And then we've got Hacktivist, who I think are one of the, well, obviously as a headliner, one of the biggest names that we've got. Also, I've been listening to them since high school. And then Lastel have been more of a recent discovery. We checked them out at Download last year. We were toying with the idea of getting them on board for 2025, but we hadn't I don't think we'd established ourselves quite enough. So after we smashed it with Exim and the 500, went back to them and just locked it in straight away. So yeah, those were our 3 headliners this year.
Nice, and we just opened up there with a track by The Mechanist, who I believe are the opening band for the weekend as well. Lots of other fantastic names in the lineup there. You got Tooth and Dagger, Archives, Vanitas, Chugaboom, who are one of my all-time bands. Yeah. They are easily in my top 5, top 3 maybe. Don't tell Levi I said that. He's got a big enough ego. But as regarding the kind of support side of the band rather than the headliners, what has gone into kind of your guys picking some of those out?
So a lot of them are personal preference. We sort of go into each year having an idea who we definitely want. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but we always have a preliminary list. But a lot of our bands also come from an application process where we encourage, underground grassroots bands to apply. We will go through every single application in detail. We'll put people through next rounds and we narrow it down. It's a really long process, but we come out with some really, really outstanding bands that we have never heard of before. So this year we had Rupture Farms was one of the bands we discovered. Yep. We've discovered Writhe.
We had Meet Your Maker. We had... You said Rupture Farms. We had Divinitas as well. We've had, I think in total maybe even The Mechanist, that's the most obvious one. So 5 bands, so 20% of our lineup was fully from applications.
The Mechanist didn't actually apply, so The Mechanist actually...
The Mechanist applied. They were on the spreadsheet.
Were they on the spreadsheet?
They were on the spreadsheet.
I came across them on TikTok. I found them on TikTok about a year ago, and by the time I discovered them, it was probably too late for last year. And then this year we had a spare slot on the Friday, and we helped promote one of their shows back in April, and we fell in love with them, thought they were absolutely sick, and we were like, we have to get these guys opening our festival. Yeah. They've got the exact energy we need to open this festival in a really crazy and intense way.
I think my favourite story about booking support bands, though, because you mentioned Chugaboom, is I booked Chugaboom on LinkedIn after we had a band drop out. And I know Levi because we grew up in the same hometown. So I literally just reached out to him and I was like, I don't suppose you'd be keen for this. He's like, yep, sure. Had it locked in within 3 days. So that's kind of like, I feel like that's like the funniest like booking story.
The only time LinkedIn has ever been useful for anything.
I feel like they were on your lineup, I believe, just before the start of the new year when they were teasing a potential unmasking or dissolving the band. And like they even made a point of being like, we're not stopping the band, guys. You can see we've got festivals coming up. What are you talking about? But yes, always great to see those guys. I'll talk about something about them a little bit later. Before we go into our next song, I do want to mention that if people enjoyed The Mechanist, they can go and check out an interview that Doll and my wife Ruby did not a couple of weeks back now, a while back now, which was an hour or so of absolute unhinged chaos. And not pun not intended there. Please go and check that interview out. It was a great time. So go and check that out. We are going to play a song now we're going to play a song by Lestelle, I think, now, as they are one of your other headliners. So let's play some of that, and then we will get to some unhinged questions by Doll.
Capri Sun stuff.
We're sponsored by Capri Sun.
We're not sponsored by Capri Sun.
I remember early on when we said the more unhinged, the better. I feel like just, Capri Sun, and I'm like, yes, I support this message. So the way that we do things here at Chaos is obviously we want to be slightly professional, but more so chaotic. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to ask you some most likely to questions. What I would then like you to do is give me a band you think is most likely to commit these heinous crimes. On the day, I will also be telling the bands what you voted them for. I would like to give them their awards and just see if they agree with your picks. Are you ready for your first one?
We're going to have to pick a different band each time as well, so they all get awards.
You go first.
Or do I get first pick?
Oh, I don't know if I've got enough for every single band, but maybe I'll do that next time.
Just so we don't say the same band twice.
You have to invite me back next time so I can do it for every single band. That's all I'm saying. I did include this one in the email, so we'll start off with an easy one. Who's most likely to fall off the stage midway through their set?
I mean, we said Levi from Chugaboom, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Funnily enough, that's who I included in the email as well. I'm not saying that. Also, before we start, I'm also not claiming any bad mojo. I don't want any of these things to happen. But whoever's most likely, it's funny that Chugaboom got 2 votes. I'm sensing.
I spoke that far, right?
Who is the most likely to sell the most merchandise?
Oh, I think I know this one.
You want to go?
Yeah, I mean, we did a promotion event last month, and the amount of people who came to the show and bought and wore Mechanist shirts was obscene. Like, they sell a lot of merch. They also have some amazing merch. Their Yorkshire tea one is just the best thing ever. So yeah, the Mechanist, 100%. I
do also recall seeing that on their merch table they have free biscuits. Again, I stalked their TikTok quite a lot, so
we donated 5 packs of custard creams when they came and played for us.
They did also get paid.
They got paid, yeah, in biscuits and
actual real life money.
I think I'd rather the biscuits, to be honest. Custard creams are such a shout. Regardless of where they are on the lineup, who is most likely to start the first mosh pit?
Ooh.
We are Rupture Farms.
I reckon Rupture Farms.
Not included in the Friday. If we're just talking in terms of like how early in the day, I think Rupture Farms 100%.
I mean, I've seen their live video from Bloodstock that they played there a few years ago, and that crowd, that was a vibe. Like, that was a whole vibe. Mm-hmm. So I think Rupture Farms.
This question's more so like, if they like pretend they all started at the same time, how early on into their set, like who's the most likely to start the first one? Ooh. I'm sure they'll be very happy.
I can't pick Mechanist again because they open with Blacklight. I'm pretty sure, which is like easy mosh territory.
Or Writhe. I mean, Writhe go hard.
Writhe is less mosh and more just sort of
kill each other.
Catastrophe. Just everything is melting and weeping. Yeah. Tooth and Dagger as well. Like Tooth and Dagger are like a real
what's
fun
our final
band.
You make the call.
I'd still think Rupture Farms. Like,
Should we go Rupture
yeah,
Farms?
Rupture Farms was my first choice for that.
Rupture Farms.
Who is the most likely to start their own cult? I'm not saying I'm not saying it has to be a weird cult. I'm just saying it has to be a cult.
Nah, Scatter the Tribe. I mean, it's kind of the whole point of their the title of the band is that everyone is part of the tribe, and connecting with people at all the shows that they play, especially with Birmingham Sanctum last year being their first show outside of London. I think that's definitely fitting for them.
What do you think their initiation would be to join their cult?
Oh, it was so wholesome and nice last
They're
year.
so wholesome. They're just lovely,
They're
wholesome
really
boys.
lovely guys. So I don't
just
think it'd
be a friendly
anything,
hug.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anything too menacing. Like, it wouldn't be sacrificial. It would just be please, can we have a hug?
Oh, I mean, the first thing they did when I met
them was show me. They showed me their poker. They had a Pokeball filled with stickers. That was the first thing they showed me.
If they don't have that at the festival, I'm going to be really disappointed.
I'll tell them. I'll make sure. Yeah.
Who is the most likely to break their instruments halfway through their set? And that could be anything from breaking their drums to snapping their strings.
Ooh. Now, who was it at Modern Misery who did that?
Right, so we're really good friends with the people who run Modern Era Fest in London. The drummer for Cobra Mouth literally put his hand through one of the floor toms, fully just punctured it.
The venue's floor tom.
Yeah, the venue's floor tom. I think they were third on or fourth on that day. So yeah, I'd probably say Cobra Mouth.
They go hard.
Yeah,
they don't fuck about.
I was going. Do you know what? Don't do things by half. You couldn't have broke the cymbal off there. You went straight, straight for it. Yeah, okay.
Fully, just yeah.
Well, again, I'm not claiming any bad juju, but let's hope it doesn't happen at the festival.
Hopefully not. We'll hire the drum kit.
Who is the most likely to jump into the crowd halfway through their set? And I'm talking proper nose stage dive.
Ooh. I want to say somebody like Andromedus or Hacktivist.
I think I was thinking Archives, because when we saw we saw Archives in London, and they spent just as much time off the stage as they did on stage. Just really fucking aggressive music. It's so fun that you can't not mosh to it,
They were jumping off the stage during the headline set.
Yeah, literally just climbing up stage and jumping straight back off. Yeah, Archives. 100%.
Those boys are so fun.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm a very visual person, so I like to hear good music on stage, but I like to see fun things happen on stage as well. So that's, to me, that sounds great.
They had inflatable sharks as well, so yeah, definitely Archives.
They did, yes.
That's perfect. Yeah, they had I know you like inflatables.
Love a good inflatable.
Who doesn't?
Who is the most likely to start a rumor about themselves by accident?
Honestly, from the interview we did them, Divinitas. I just feel like they do something really unhinged.
Yeah, they've got really good humour.
Divinitas have a great sense of humour. They come out with some absolute bangers.
Yeah.
Who is the most likely to steal somebody's drink halfway through their set? Literally off the stage, picked it up, and they're gone again.
Have we had a band where that's happened?
I don't think we have had that happen. But who would do it?
Alchemize, because they're from Bolton, so there's a certain level of distrust there, I think.
It's bloody Northerners.
I like the Boltons, the slam. I like it. I've got two more. Who is the most likely to become a dictator of their own country?
Wow.
Joe, probably.
A dictator of their own country.
That's probably Chugaboom again.
I could see it. I won't lie.
Good. Or Jade from Vanitas. She is.
Vanitas, yeah. Vanitas.
She is a powerful lady.
But a good dictator, not like.
Yeah, not a weird one.
Yeah.
She would make sure everyone's in line. We love Jade.
And my last one, who is most likely to accidentally annoy the sound engineers?
Fucking Andromedus. They haven't got a drummer. They've got a keyboard player, 2 guitarists, and a vocalist. I'm pretty sure. Like they all of the drums are like were sort of like beats and stuff, and like on the tracks. So I think the sound guy just be like, "Where's the fucking drummer? Is he not showing up?
What's going on?"
Yeah, like, they're meant to be on in 2 minutes. Like, where is this guy?
That was a good shout.
There we are. I'll say it. So, my idea now is to go up to all these bands and be like, "So, by the way, you were voted this. How do you feel about this?" So, hopefully, everyone is quite happy with their outcomes.
We'll have to remember what we've said now.
I'll send it to you like a few days before as well. I won't leave you in the dark.
Remember, I want it to come up in conversation and be like, "Oh shit, yeah, I did say that."
Oh yeah, I did do that. Oh yeah, I did slam Bolton.
I'm not going to get slammed in Bolton. I think it's a valid point. I said what I said. Can't take it back now. Sorry to any fans of the show or of the festival from Bolton.
We love the North.
Not my fault that you're from there. Yeah, we'll have a scrap in the pit.
On the first day, we will not have a scrap in the pit.
I like the HR response.
The festival into a scrap.
Right, should we check on another one of your picks?
I think we better before Joe threatens more people. Oh, such a hard pick.
Let's go with Scatter the Tribe, because we've had a Friday band and a Sunday band, so let's get a Saturday.
That
was Oblivious by Scatter the Tribe here, on the run up to Sanctum Festival. And yeah, we've got a few more questions, a few more songs. I'm gonna pass you back over to Dol for the first of our mixed questions.
Yeah, so recently I saw that you had made a few social media posts around disability at the Sanctum, and we in our team we have a few members that suffer from a few different ailments. So disability awareness is really important to us. Could you tell us a little bit more about how you decided to sort of go about it in the approach that you did?
Yeah, you go.
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple reasons why we started having conversations about it in the first place. I think for us, we want to make sure that everyone can enjoy the Sanctum, no matter what like sort of access needs that they might have. You know, as organisers for such a small event, sometimes accessibility doesn't really get considered quite so much. But we have close friends who have access needs, and we've also had content creators who make content about accessibility at festivals around the UK reach out to us and be like, do you guys have a policy? Do you guys have anything in terms of like, offering acceptance of access cards or PAs or anything like that? So we had a lot of conversations with people who'd be directly impacted by our policies. So we decided with Dead Wax Digbeth, what we did last year, the venue has 2 stages. It has one upstairs on the first floor and one downstairs outside on the courtyard. We only use the ground floor stage, so for all of our customer facing aspects of the festival, you don't have to go up a single set of stairs or anything like that. It is all completely on the ground floor. And even though we've had a lot of people ask like, oh, why don't you grow the festival by having 2 stages? We don't want to grow just for the sake of it. We want to grow in a way where people can grow with us and still experience every part of the festival. That was really, really important to us.
Yeah, we've always done it as well where, like I said, we've got friends who have accessibility needs, and we've always accommodated them personally. So, for example, if they come up to us and say, oh, would you mind setting a chair out for us? Me and Joe have always done that. But now that we've got a much bigger team, like on the actual weekend, we need to make sure that everybody's aware of these accessibility needs. It can't just be a word of mouth thing anymore, just because of how quickly in the last year the festival has grown. And it's opened up a lot of conversations about, it started with a chair and now it's become a lot more. It's become, do we need sensory items for people? Like, who perhaps need things for overstimulation and various accessibility needs like that. We've really started to open up conversations about how we can expand accessibility from basically further away from me and Joe, and bring it into get the team involved as well.
If you ever need any like sensory toys, by the way, I have thousands. So just let me know and I'll bring whatever you need.
Have you guys had anything kind of mentioned to you or suggested to you by some of the people who have the extra needs of something that's completely, you wouldn't have even thought about it, that makes absolute sense now that it's been brought to your attention?
Well, I think the sensory toys is probably a great example. Like, I never would have considered it. We've offered earplugs at shows before, but that for me as a musician myself, that just comes from a perspective of, I want to protect my hearing. But actually thinking about it, I also have some issues where I get overstimulated, particularly with particular sounds and things like that. And actually having things like earplugs or noise cancelling earphones really helps me out at shows, and particularly at Download Festival, I can't sleep unless I've got my earplugs in. And it's little things like that, and especially like the sensory items. We've had quite a few people mention that.
I mean, sometimes the way to ground is earplugs are not enough. It's not,
they need something like
physically, they need other ways to ground themselves. And so we started out with sort of Joe's, because Joe deals with his overstimulation with earplugs. We're now expanding it out to make sure that we can accommodate other people's ways of grounding themselves. And it's by chatting to people that we're starting to learn what else we can include to help everyone, basically.
Yeah. So we've had. Can you guys provide sensory items? We've had, are you guys okay with me bringing a sketchbook and just letting me like sit down and just draw for a bit? And they're all things where it's so easy for us to just say yes. But before those things were brought to us, we were probably focused on.
People would always assume it would be a no.
Yeah.
And but
it's never been a no so far.
Awesome. And then I suppose to kind of further that question is how important is it to have everybody as a community for the Sanctum Festival, not only for this year but moving forward as well?
Oh, it's the most important. Like, we want to grow as a festival, but we also want to grow our fan base. We don't ever just want one type of fan. We want everybody to feel safe at the Sanctum. It's one of the reasons why it's called the Sanctum. And so, we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome. And if people want to come up to us and chat to us and send us an email and tell us directly to our faces, here's something I noticed last year or this year, like that I think could be improved on in terms of access. Like, these are my ideas. Like, we really encourage that. We want people to talk and we want to open up these conversations, because at the end of the day, the Sanctum, yes, it's run by me and Joe, but it is, I mean, we call it a massive mates fest. It's really just a massive network of everybody. It's promoters, it's musicians, it's crew, it's photographers, it's media, it's the fans as well. It's a network rather than a music
person. I think as well, in terms of like community building for us, like it goes beyond just like our attendees, and it's our relationships in the scene, like meeting you guys or chatting to other people who run other festivals. So whether it's like Rabid Fest or Hammerdown Festival or Novocaine Festival or Amplified Festival, or even people who used to run UK Tech Fest, like we having those conversations with people and building up those genuine friendships, like that's such a big thing for us. Like a lot of our attendees we've just become friends with, just quite naturally as well. And we don't want anyone to feel left out or feel like they can't ask a simple question about their accessibility needs. Like our inbox is always open, and I'd just rather people ask than just assume it'll be a no, because we'll always try to do what we can for people.
All right, should we check on another song?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's chuck that Divinitas song on that we had lined up a moment ago.
Very, very good.
And there we go. That was Eternal Return by Divinitas. I think I'm going to hand you over to Dol for some Would You Rathers.
Oh, sweet.
I know I said specifically in the email, I was like, I'm going to keep these secret. I don't want you to have any prepare time, because I think it'd be funnier that way. Once again, before I ask these questions, I'm going to say I claim no bad energy. I hope none of this stuff actually happens. But So my first question is: would you rather the main headliner no call, no show, or would you rather them lose power for the main headlining slot?
Ooh.
I know what I would pick. I'm interested to
Go
hear
on.
what you
Go,
would pick.
you go first.
I think I would want to go with no power because we are doing loads of really cool merch for the festival, and I feel like it would leave a really like bitter taste with all these cool designs and like the Sanctum on cards if the band just fucked off. But like if it's power and it's like, you know, they are actually at the event, right? But the electricity is not working. I feel
Yeah.
like there's kind of like a valid reason there, and there's no bad blood or anything like that.
Also, I feel like they'd find a way anyway. Like if it was Hacktivist, they'd just do it without any music.
Just do it without any music.
Just do some freestyle.
Acapella.
Like,
Yeah.
and God knows what Chugaboom would do.
Just random little acoustic session, just like.
I mean, also I've heard James from the Mechanists acoustic stuff. Like, so good, phenomenal. Like, I'd trust all the bands. I trust all the bands.
Acoustic would be beautiful.
There you go. I'd trust all of them with no power. Yeah. Maybe we should just turn the power off all weekend.
Maybe not. Like,
you've given us an idea now.
I reckon that would be one of those once in a lifetime sort of things where you're like, oh my god, I saw the Mechanist do an acoustic set with Chugaboom, and it was the weirdest mashup I've ever seen. But you'll never see that ever again. I think that would be pretty cool. But please do not turn the power off or just on my words. Would you rather one band arrive an hour early but be an absolute menace, or one band arrive an hour late but be like golden?
Most of them are bloody menaces anyway, but in a good way.
Menaces in terms of like.
I'm talking being like an absolute nuisance, like annoying other people as well.
I feel
they
like
annoy each other. They're all just like they're just boys. They're just
a band being an hour early but being menaces, or a band being an hour late but being absolutely
golden. Yeah.
I love a crazy atmosphere in a green room, so I think I wouldn't mind a couple of menaces in there.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough people in bands who would happily just turn to somebody going too far and go, shut the fuck up and sit down.
We had it last year where like 4 bands all arrived within 20 minutes of each other, and they all knew each other from previous tours and stuff, and they were just stimming fucking constantly in the green room while we were trying to set things up, and it was great. It was fun, but it was carnage. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Yeah.
I love people being like I've got OCD, so anybody who turns up exactly when I ask them to, that's the best thing. That's my they become my favorite people that day. So early in chaos.
Well, I'm glad you said you appreciate people that turn up and be like just an absolute numpty. Because in a lot of my live interviews, I think I've sent this over message. I use plastic squeaky hammers. I don't know if you can hear it. Like,
oh yeah,
you can definitely hear that.
Yeah.
You might want to warn other press teams.
You have that to look forward
to. It's more fun if we don't warn them.
Nobody's getting warned about this.
Good. I love causing absolute havoc.
We do too. That's why we do this.
And then my last one, would you rather the power completely shut off only for 10 minutes, or would you rather it ominously flicker for the entire day?
Oh Christ. 10 minutes, I think.
Would you rather?
Oh, sorry, I've got one more after this. Sorry, I forgot. Can't read my own writing.
I'd go with the 10 minutes because we have half an hour changeover between every band for reasons like that, just in case something goes absolutely fucking tits up, we can bounce back and it's okay. I feel like if the power
had anything go fully tits up.
Nah, it's always been my in-ear monitors.
It's always been you going tits up.
It's always been me.
Go and touch wood right now. You've said it. You've said it out to the universe. Go and touch wood.
But so I think the power flickering on and off ominously. I think I think everyone would just be on
catastrophic failure.
Yeah, everyone would just be on edge.
The power flickering would I'd be like, my shoulders would be up to my ears the entire day. And then, sorry, my last one. Would you rather a missing merch stand or a missing drummer?
I mean, all the drummers are fucking missing.
The amount of times I lose people in bands because they've got interviews in 5 minutes and they've just vanished. That happens quite a lot.
Well, it's that, and they all look like fucking me, right? It's always dark hair, beard, some sort of tattoos, or black clothes.
Generic metalcore dude.
Generic metalcore dude, yeah.
Just trying to find a generic metalcore dude in a sea of generic.
They look like me,
dudes.
or they look like Mickey. That's basically the way it is.
Jade from Venice.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then this one's a bit more of a. I find it slightly cute if we can match this up for 1 year's time. But what is the goal that you would like to set for yourselves as a festival in 1 year's time?
Ooh, I mean, we have ideas what we want to do next year.
We have some goals.
We do have goals.
I think next year we would want to bring some bands over from Europe, 100%. Already having conversations on that one.
We had interest this year on the applications. We had some bands from all over the place, from some really interesting places. And we were just like, I think this year we feel a bit too out of our depth to bring them over. We didn't really know anything, but next year, we're gonna see what we can do.
Yeah. And I think as well, we want to what's the best way of putting it? I guess we want to bring services and things that we really like in the music industry to people. So, for example, this year we've got a guitar retailer coming to the festival. But I think next year, working with brands like, I don't know, maybe like Vocal Zone or Pins and Knuckles or brands that have had like a big impact in the grassroots music scene, it'd be really cool to kind of expand our reach,
collab with them
and collab with more people. And I think just like doing things like this, I think is something that we weren't even looking at like coverage and interviews and streams last year.
I mean, I'd love to do a collab with Jolie Beauty. I've been saying that. Yeah. Like, I want to do a Sanctum makeup palette. That's what I want.
Yeah. I think obviously it's easy. It's so easy for me to say, but I think just like continue connecting with people. Like we don't care if we sell X amount of tickets as long as the place is nice and packed out for the bands. And there's a really, really good community vibe to it, and people are just really fucking enjoying it. I guess that's like, as long as we're still doing that, I feel like we're doing something right.
That's the main goal. That's the only goal, really. Yeah. Everything else is just an added bonus.
I feel like you filled it in quite nicely, but then I was also going to ask, what about in 5 years' time? I feel like that's a much bigger ballpark.
So 5 years would be, what, 2031?
2031?
Oh my God.
Quick math, I like it. That was quick math, I like it.
So fucking old and haggard by then.
I'm older than you.
You are older than me, but you don't look older than me.
I'd be in my late
30s. Beautifully looked
nice
after
save.
hair and then a
nice
grey rotted beard.
Nice save. Well done.
5 years' time.
5 years' time, I'd love to start having conversations about possibilities of camping and stuff like that. I'd love to be able to say, let's take this outside. That's one thing for me. Maybe 5 years is a bit too optimistic, but with the rate we're growing, I don't think it's out of the realms of madness. Like, we had somebody message us today on TikTok asking if we're a camping festival. And I was like, no, we're just in a little venue.
I think for me, I got into music really early, but got into live music quite late. So I didn't go to my first show until 2015. My first show was Volumes, The Amity Affliction, and Of Mice and Men. And then my second show was like North Lane and We Came as Romans. So it'd be really cool to have like a household name headliner, I think. Like, like a really big band, like a download band.
I would cry if we could get Bleed From Within. I would cry.
Yeah, I think that would be like big end game goal for us. Is we don't want to be a download or a Bloodstock. We want to be a obviously we want to be ambitious, but we still want to be a fairly small community based festival. We don't have any interest in leaving Birmingham really.
No.
But we do want to give those smaller unheard of bands who don't have hundreds of thousands of streams the opportunity to play with some bands like that. I think that would be a really big goal.
I think the 5 year goal is basically let's introduce the small grassroots bands to Polaris.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
When I was in a band 5 years ago and it felt like nobody gave a shit about us, if we had an opportunity like that, that would have meant the world to me. So I feel like that would mean a lot to some smaller upcoming bands if we can make that happen one day. And even now, I feel like our lineup are all like super appreciative of what we're trying to pull off here, and we're taking a massive risk in doing so. Like we're completely self-funded. It'd be nice, I mean, in 5 years' time to have some
funding and sponsors,
some kind of investment. But yeah, I mean, we're taking a big risk in paying for all of this off our own asses, really. So it means a lot that people recognise that we're working hard for the bands that we really care about. Got off on a tangent there. Sorry, everybody.
It's all right.
I also don't fucking care because I feel like it's a good point.
In 5 years' time,
it was very, very good.
That's exactly what these shows are for. Like that's what we want you to do. So yeah, please carry on by all means.
But no, I feel like that kind of wraps those goals up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let's get another song on and then we'll come back. We will chat about some of your merch options and anything else before we close off with the last song. We've got Parasites by Shields lined up next for everyone. That was Parasites by Shields there. And we've got a couple more questions before we close this interview off and play the main headliner, Hacktivist. First of all, thank you guys for joining us. I know Win wanted to ask this question, but I'm going to jump in and steal it because I can. Tell us some more about the Sanctum on cards. How did the idea come around, and what are the shiny hit chances? What are we looking at?
So the idea came about at about 1 o'clock in the morning when we were in bed, and it started off as a funny passing comment, like a joke, and then all of a sudden Joe went, "What if we do Sanctum on cards?" And he went straight online to like a Pokemon card maker, and we were up until about 2:30 in the morning. Bear in mind, we both had to be at work at like 8 a.m. And yeah, we sat making the first prototype of Sanctum on cards. Joe's got his geeky little
binder. He's got the binder out. Come on.
He's got the binder out.
Just as a disclaimer, I do actually have autism, so I'm not taking the piss.
Yeah.
I got the flavour of autism where I like shiny cardboard. And I have a complete master set of the original 151.
Oh, man.
It's a complete binder full. And we just thought it'd be a really fun idea to take something that we both personally like. When I initially moved in with Emma, when we started dating, because my attention span is quite low, we just watched the Pokemon anime. And and Emma's got a hand-drawn Pikachu tattoo as well.
I do.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a shared love for sure. But it was literally just a silly idea, and we decided, fuck it, we're going to try it, and people seem to love it. And thank you for ordering the entire set as well. It hasn't gone unnoticed. We really appreciate it.
The minute I saw them, I put it into our group chat, and I went, guys, I don't even give a shit about anything anymore. I need these. I need these. I was also curious. I did buy the set, obviously. Can you get individual cards at the festival, or does it all come in a set?
It all comes in a complete set. So in terms of your question about shiny rates, it's 100%. Like you get what you're paying for. There's no like potluck. And the reason we're doing it as a complete set is because we feel like it's the fairest thing to do for all of the bands on the lineup. Like I don't want, nobody's heard of this band, they've only sold one card, versus like Hacktivist, they've sold 50 cards because everybody loved this band. We want people to buy these cards and have a sift through and see some bands that they might not have heard of before and gone, they're playing in half an hour, I'll go check them out. Sorry, I realised I'm like, I'm 200 fucking yards away. People to look at the cards and go, I'm going to check this band out now. And we've also we've put a lot of attention to detail into things like the attacks, so they're all like personalised based around the songs or people in the band, and all the elemental types of we've consulted a lot of the bands to ask what they would like as well. So yeah, it's just been a real fun passion project. I just hope I don't get fucking sued.
It just seems like all metalheads are just nerds.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have a lot of strong opinions about this, and most of them are positive.
Just want to quickly shout out my friend Jamie, if he's still watching this. He's bringing 99 packs of Pokemon cards to download on Wednesday, and we're going to rip through all of them at camp. So shout out to him.
Is there any chances of getting a shiny Levi Taurus? Because I feel like I need a shiny Levi Taurus in my life.
About Chugabit, so Levi is kind of like the main character on the card, but I asked him what kind of what do you want the card to look like, and then he described it as a bit battered, first edition, smells like beer, probably still somehow worth something. And that is the quote, like the description.
That's the bio.
That's the bio that's on the card.
Nice.
His exact words. Yeah.
It is good
Awesome.
fun trying to like put like elemental types. Some bands are like, some of them are super obvious. Like there's some bands that have like water based names, and we're just like, oh, they're a water type. Same as a lot of bands have got fire type names, and which it's obviously a fire type. But there's some where we're just like, what the hell could that be? And we really sit and think about it. We put a lot of thought into these.
Yeah.
Is there an actual Sanctum Pokemon card? Because obviously you guys are Lightning type, surely.
We would be
100%.
Lightning type this year.
We don't have our own. I mean, I as an artist, when I dance, I had my card last year.
Well, I had an assurance card last year.
You had an assurance card.
'Cause last year
I had a burlesque card.
Yeah, last year. Well, Emma's a burlesque artist, so she opened. So Emma performed, and then directly after she finished performing, my band was then on. So our cards were the same color, like they were connected. But yeah, sorry, I feel like I've gone off on a massive tangent here.
No, that was really cute. I like it.
We would be an electric. Oh yeah. So the reason we have electric branding is because we again got the inspiration from Pokemon. We were like, well, last year was like a multicolored fire kind of branding.
It was like smoke, yeah.
And we were
did smoke.
thinking like it'd be really cool to have like different like elemental brandings each year. It's obviously still something we're working on, and we're really trying to push the boat out in terms of like what the festival's going to look like next year.
Maybe in
But
the
for
future
now-
we'll become trainer cards in the future. We'll
That
have
would be cool.
an Emma and a Joe one.
That'd
That's a
be
good
cool.
idea. That's a great idea.
That's such a baller idea.
We could be collectibles.
I think I would love one day, like in 5 years. I guess that's a goal for 5 years, is to like have a binder full of like all these bands have played. Like that would be really cool.
Although we don't even have a set from last year, because I was literally did get covered in beer.
Yeah, they got the yeah.
Ours was the display set on the merch table, and then we had beer spilt over them. So
Within half an hour.
we don't even have our own set of cards.
Well, get two for this year.
Oh.
One for display, one for the binder.
We're going to get some reprinted from last year, I think.
Perfect stuff. Well, Dill, any last questions from you?
No, that's it from me. Just that I'm so buzzed I literally cannot wait to go there. I booked my hotel the other day. I'm going to see you guys in August.
Awesome.
Well done on booking a hotel, because we booked ours last week as well, and it was actually quite tough finding something that was a decent price around the venue this year.
I couldn't agree more. I booked an accommodation, and then I got an email about 6 days later, and it was like, by the way, you have to prove you're a student to stay here. And I was like,
oh, great.
We found a few of those.
Yeah.
And he got really angry about it.
I got angry. I was in a pub when I got the email.
Yeah.
I was a student more than 10 years ago.
Brilliant. Well,
I was like, well, that's not me.
Before we go and close off, is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you guys want to talk about before we play some Hacktivist? And can you also let people know where to buy tickets for this festival?
Yeah, so on top of the Sanctum cards that we just mentioned, we've also got 2 t-shirts. We have a Stonewash lineup shirt, and we've got a classic black shirt with a serpent and sword design on it. I designed both of those myself. I'm really, really proud of them. Thanks to Emma for pushing me to make a second shirt.
He really didn't want to. But I forced him.
All tickets, merchandise goes directly into actually making this fucking thing happen. Like I said, we're completely self-funded. Linktree/the Sanctum UK. You can grab tickets, merch, all of that good stuff. And
since there's a load of them here as well, and they've also just put it in our group chat, I just want to shout out the camp we're camping with at Download, which is Camp Ross, which is our lovely friends.
Yeah.
So hello, Camp Ross. What a wonderful day.
But honestly, anybody watching, if you are keen on coming out, it means the absolute world to us to have your support. We're literally running this festival off a coffee table, trying to do everything we can, and we really appreciate opportunities like this to chat to new people about it as well.
We just love making friends. We want to make all the friends.
We want to make friends. We'll see you there, and it's going to be a fucking blast.
Awesome stuff. Well, again, thank you guys for joining us, Joe and Emma. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll have you back next year, assuming you don't hate Dole for annoying everybody with hammers. But on that note, thank you again. Dole, you've been here, I guess. Yeah, we're going to play some Hacktivist. This is Hacktivist with Master.